Now, when it comes to mealtime, our eyes are often bigger than our bellies.
So, don't look at me. So, health expert Amelia Burton is here to give us some surefire tips to stop us from overeating. Amelia, most people don't even realise they are overeating, do they?
I know. Well, it's a bit annoying because at this point, in the last 25 years, our portion sizes have over doubled.
Supersize me, baby.
Yeah, it's very scary. Over 75% increase in the number of restaurants in our society. So no wonder people are eating more. But people often ask me, you know, like, what are the signs that you are overeating?
Yeah.
Well, the first one is, the most obvious one is, are you gaining weight?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's probably
Weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now, so there's the dinner plate.
Yes, so one of my first tips I have is downsize your dinner plate. Now, let me ask you, could you fit your dinner on a bread plate? Because if the answer is no, then...
Wait, is this the first round of dinner? Go to a buffet?
First or the second helping?
Oh dear. So that's a really good question to ask yourself. Could I actually eat my dinner on a bread and butter plate? Obviously your salads and things like that, your big leafy salads, would be on the side.
Yeah.
But the second reason why eating dinner on a dinner plate actually works is because with our eyesight, we think that a bread plate is actually, it looks like we're eating a lot more because all the food
is going right to the edges.
Exactly.
Can I just say that, you know those giant plates? I blame... Was it Nouvelle Cuisine? Remember when that came out and it was everything, you know, like...
Yeah,
Yeah, but then it was like a little bit of food on that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you didn't fill the plate.
Filled them right up.
Yeah.
So now here we've got another tip.
Yes. So with your portion sizes, so when you're thinking about, say, for example, eating a steak, you want to have your piece of protein the size and thickness of the palm of your hand, not your whole hand, the palm of your hand. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So about 120 grams.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why the bread plate really helps.
My wife always criticised me for eating too fast. Slow down, darling.
Yes.
But my friend, like, he just seems like he sucks food into his mouth.
Yes,
like a fly.
And that's a problem
Is
too,
that
because
bad?
if you get hungry and then you eat really quickly, sometimes you don't... Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't...
that's what I look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this. This is disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right,
wow.
yeah. So what are your tips on avoiding, you know, like how do you slow down?
Okay, well, this is probably one of the best tips I can give you today, is to slow down, because our hormone that makes us feel full, which is called leptin, it takes 15 minutes to kick in. So from the point where your stomach is full, it takes 15 minutes. Think about how much food you can throw back in 15 minutes.
A lot.
So you really, really want to slow down what you eat. Every few mouthfuls, put your fork down, actually have eye contact with the people that you're having dinner with. Don't just sit there and get hand-to-mouth disease.
That would be me and Ellen. Me and the ladies on The View.
Yeah, that's it.
What about chewing too? Is that...
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, if you are eating really
Masticating.
Yes, I'm glad you said that and not me. Yes, that's right. Chewing and actually being mindful of what you eat and chewing slowly is another really, really good tip as
This is
well.
funny. A friend of mine who's a composer in New York, he's the slowest eater in the world. He sits there and will chew his food for ages. It's the longest dinners ever, and yet he looks fantastic. He's like 50 plus. He looks brilliant.
Yeah, it's another tip in that book, French Women Don't Get Fat. It's to slow down. But another great tip as well is to eat low GI foods.
Yeah.
In other words, your low glycemic foods. That's really, really important because that curbs your appetite, keeps you fuller for a lot longer, and it's a slow release.
Yeah.
So foods such as, you know, yogurt, apples, broccoli, all those types of food. If you Google low GI foods, the list is that long. Olive oil is another great one as well. Your grainy breads, that kind of thing. So that will actually be a slow burn, so it keeps your metabolism boosted, but more importantly, it keeps you full for a long time so you don't get that ravenous appetite.
Oh no, baked beans.
I love baked beans. It's great food, power food.
Yep.
Let me ask you about smelling certain foods actually stops the sugar cravings. Is that right?
I know it sounds a bit crazy, but your olfactory nerve, which is your smelling nerve, is situated right next to the part of your brain that makes you feel full. So would you believe that by smelling certain foods such as peppermint, such as vanilla and grapefruit actually stops you craving sugar? So I've got a little test for you guys.
Okay.
I know you've been up since, you know, very early in the morning. You're probably getting the morning munchies.
Starving.
Have a sniff. Have a sniff of this peppermint.
So I'm about to eat some M&Ms.
Okay.
So...
And I know, work with me here, Sonia.
No, you're right. It's like you smell it and you don't feel like you're hungry anymore.
So after you have dinner, particularly people...
I do feel lightheaded. Is that... No.
After you have dinner, make sure you can either clean your teeth, have a peppermint tea is a really good thing. And that will stop
burning scented candles, I've heard too.
Yes.
If you burn a vanilla candle, it actually takes away that craving for sweet food.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells delicious. I smell like my house I've eaten something if I burn a candle.
And we also want to move on to the low-fat trap.
Yes.
Because you know, low-fat foods, we see them, they're advertised, we think we're doing the right thing, are we, by eating these low-fat foods?
I want to be very careful with talking about this tip because, don't get me wrong, some low-fat foods are fantastic, such as milk, for example, but there are some traps out there, such as your cheeses, and anything that's processed, highly processed. So a lot of breakfast cereals are laden with sugar. To bring the low-fat down, what they do is they put a lot of sugar and a lot of salt in them. So foods that naturally shouldn't be low fat, like your chocolate mousses and your cheeses, don't go for the low fat. You're better off eating a smaller portion. But certainly milk, for example, it's fine to go low fat if you're trying to lose weight.
Portion control. Thanks
you,
again, Amelia.
No worries.
She knows it all.
She knows everything.
She does.
I know, it's crazy. I feel very self-conscious when she's here.
Coming up, news headlines and all